Hey everyone, so this is the third video of our three things that are stopping you from living your dream health. So we already talked about the decisive or being indecisive. We already talked about it's too late, and today we're going to be talking about fear. So let's say you come across a program that shows you how to get help with your diabetes, or that shows you how to get help with your heart disease, or whichever health condition that you're trying to regain your health from, weight loss, or whatever goals you're trying to achieve. So, one of the things when it comes to fear is our brain is designed in a way to protect us. So what I mean by that is anytime you come across something that you're not used to, that's something you don't know about, the brain would tell you, is like, okay, this is not good, this is not good, this is not good. And it's a good thing. It's there to protect you. And that's where the fear of indecision or fear of not doing anything or not being able to make a decision comes in or creeps in, because it thinks or it tells you that, hey, this is not going to be good for you, or this is not good for you, because it's something different, because it's something you're not used to. Think of it this way. Think about it. The first time you learn how to drive a car, and then, first time after you learn how to drive a car, taking it on interstate or taking it to some busy traffic area, we all had a fear. It's like, what if, what if, what if, what if? Because we had that fear because we didn't know what to expect. And then obviously, when we went through it, we were fine. And then, so it's the same thing with our health, or the same thing when we have to make a decision about health, because most commonly people are used to, with their health, are taking care with medications or surgeries, and that's something they commonly hear all the time. So, that doesn't fear them as much as even if they're doing something positive, where they don't have to get on medications, or where they don't have to have any kind of severe procedures or intensive procedures or invasive procedures done. But even so, when they're wanting to make a step change or take that step and make a change, the fear creeps in. It's like, oh, this is not going to be good for you. This is not good. And what ends up happening is we take that fear and we don't make any decisions, and we kind of become paralyzed. And that fear, especially when it comes to health, especially if you're trying to enroll into the program that's going to get your health back or regain your health back, and when you haven't done it, there's always going to be that fear. Because again, your brain is always trying to protect you of unknown. If you already known about something, it's going to be easier. When I say if you already known something, that's going to be easier. But if you don't know anything at all, there's going to be that fear of unknown. It's always there, not just with health, but with everyone and anyone. But that's something you have to overcome. So one of the ways you could overcome that, think about this one, because when you're trying to make changes to your health, and there's that fear that what if it doesn't work, and that fear stops you from making decisions or taking that action to take care of your health. Think of it this way: what if it does work? How much does your health change? I mean, you already know. Let's say if we talk about diabetes, you already know the complications as to how severe those could be. So what if you don't do anything, and when you end up there, where you have complications such as heart disease, stroke, neuropathy, blindness, kidney failure, all those complications that go with diabetes? What if those complications setting? The fear, what those cause. You have the knowledge of it. So what happens if you end up there? So when you look at it from that side of perspective, fear becomes kind of less. Like, hey, this is fear of unknown, but this is something I could do to prevent a lot severe things in the future, complications, conditions, all those things that would ruin your life or quality of health. Not only quality, but quantity of your health as well, taking years off your life. So, fear is, and a lot of fears we kind of learned from just, I guess, other people, because, if somebody had done something and it didn't work for them, and they're like, oh, we kind of make that our own fear. It's almost like we borrow that fear from that. Think of it this way. Why do we have that fear that first time, why did we have that fear that going on interstate is dangerous, or, it's not going to be good, or going to the traffic area, it's dangerous, or it's not going to be good? Because we've heard other people's story that, accidents could happen, people going so fast, or in traffic there's so many cars, people stop at all of a sudden, and you might get into an accident or hurt yourself or damage your cars, whatever that may be. We've heard it from others, and we kind of just start thinking, before driving on interstate or before going through the traffic, we've never done it, but we still had a fear, if you think about it. So it was a fear we learned from other people, and we kind of just took it upon ourselves, like it's dangerous to drive on interstate, it's dangerous to going to traffic areas. And until we do it, then we're like, okay, it's easy, or it wasn't as bad. Now, are there still some people who do that for the first time and do get into accident? Yes, but percent of people who do it for the first time, going out interstate or going into traffic area, get into accident compared to people who do not, I would say a higher percent of people who do not. But yet, that last percentage of we kind of take their story, we borrow it, and the only way we overcome that is by doing it ourselves. Meaning, once we start driving on interstate, once we start driving in those traffic areas, we kind of get comfortable of doing it, so that fear is not there anymore. And now we do it without second thinking. Our brain is like, okay, hey, you're good at it. But at the same time, there's those other people who borrow that fear and never do anything. They never drive on interstate. They never go into traffic area because the fear holds them back, saying, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to get into an accident. I'm going to get an accident. So they look at that last percentage who did get into accidents compared to the higher percentage who never did. And that fear holds them, kind of suffocates them, and never lets them take that decision or makes that decision to drive on interstate or go to the traffic area. Well, same thing goes for the health. Because if you want to not get on medications or come off medications, if you want to avoid the complications or never get into the serious health conditions that could take your life away or quality of life away from you, then when you do make the changes, when you do take that action, when you do try to enroll in a program that's going to help you do that, that fear will be there. And that's just a part of your brain's mechanism that's going to tell that, because it's trying to hold you, it's trying to make you safe, it's trying to make you comfortable, because it's something unknown to the brain. Now, so again, how do you overcome that? It's change fear with faith. Because if you fear it, don't do anything, it gets worse. But think of it this way: what if you put faith when you take that action, and it does get you the results that you want? How much does your life change? Whereas on this side, if you have fear, if you don't do anything, and just you procrastinate, never take any decision, never do anything, and how much does it cost you 5, 10 years down the road when you have those severe health complications? So fear versus faith. You have to choose. Now, this is where you choose your intuition, meaning your gut feelings. That's like, okay, hey, my fear tells me not to do, but my faith, I'm going to have faith in this, and I'm going to do it because I know that at the end of the day, when I put in my effort, the commitment, when I take this action, what he's telling me makes sense. And when I take the action, when I get committed, it's going to get me the results that I want. And when you do it, that fear you'll overcome that fear. This is why, I'm just going to talk from a perspective of business. This is why a lot of times people are not afraid to get into business. They have all the tools to be successful, but the fear of taking that next step holds them back, and they never do it, or never go after their dream with career, profession, or business, or whatever part of their life that it may be, because it's the fear that holds them back. But imagine when people do it once, then second times becomes easier. This is why a lot of times people who do business, they fail, and second times around, they turn around, come back a lot stronger, quicker, faster, because they already overcame that fear. Now, from that fear, when they did do something, they made a mistake, they learned from it, and now they know what to do, fix it. But the point being is, you will always have fear with everything you do, everything. But you have to kind of realize, take a step back as to, is this my fear, or is this something I've learned from others? And am I fearful of doing this program because others have told me that, I did that or I did that and it didn't never work for me? But then you got to look at that person. It's like, why did it not work for that? Did they not do what they were asked? What was the reason behind it? You can't just take their fear and then make it your own. Because if you make that fear your own, then even though you might come across something the best, like say the best program or the best thing that could get your health back to you, but then you're going to start thinking about the fear that other person told you about, and then you're not going to be able to make a decision. It's like, even though all the data that they gave you, all the information they gave you makes sense, you know that it's the right thing to do, but that fear that you borrowed from other person, you're holding on to it, and therefore you don't make a decision, you procrastinate, don't do anything about your health continues to deteriorate, and again, so what is it costing you? So you have to, one of the ways to do it is, fear is always going to be there. It's the fear of unknown. But until you do it, you're never not going to know what's there. And at the same time, replace fear with faith. And just always be like, what is it going to cost if you don't do anything, compared to what if you do get the results, how much does it change? So you have to kind of weigh all those in. But replace fear with faith. Fear is always going to be there. It's fear of unknown. It's not that this is wrong for you, or unless you get a gut feeling this is wrong for you, then it's wrong for you. But if you know all the data you got and you feel like okay, it's the right thing, but you still have fear, then it's just a fear of unknown. It's not a fear that it's not going to work for you. So you have to decide on that. So if you like what I had to share, please like, share, comment this video, and continue looking out for our next videos. Take care. Have a blessed day.